losing my corgi again. Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And the weather is finally breaking. The piles of snow in my yard are much smaller, like hillocks really, and it's been warmish. You know, you can't go out without a coat, but not enough to make the crocuses even come up. Although I heard that the average day for this area to stop experiencing frost is like within the next 4 days. So that's always a good sign, but I've tried to put things in the ground and it is frozen like a rock about 2 inches down. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. So today we're continuing with the dog bath, because once you give your dog a bath, no matter how much you brush them, there's lots of hair coming out, and that leads to vacuuming and dusting. So we're on day 2 of the dog grooming regime, and I've got to say, on days like this, it makes me wonder, maybe I should bring him to a groomer. But I can't leave my dog there for 3 hours, and he's so little, and when they blow them out, they sometimes put him on the stand with the thing around their neck, and he's just so little. I just can't do that to him. I had a really great groomer. I've had 2 great groomers, both of whom retired from grooming, and that was super, super sad for us and our toenails. So today we're going to start a little bit of a section on old dogs, senior dogs, which can be, you know, according to the professionals, an old dog is something like over 7, but Tristan's 9 and I don't consider him a senior. I mean, if he lives to be 16, at what point will that dog be a senior? And I think all of us can recognize when our dogs are slowing down, so that's when you notice that your dog is a senior. So I wanted to start with talking about dog beds for seniors. First of all, if your dog is a big dog and he's a senior and he's been laying on the floor, just on the carpet, maybe sometimes getting up on the sofa, not really sleeping in your bed, when they are older, they really need comfort on those bones. Most dogs have physically active lives when they're young, and it's really important that we support them when they're old. And I will never forget my mom's Schnauzer, who was definitely a senior when this happened. She was probably 12, and now she's almost 16. My sister brought her for Christmas a orthopedic dog bed that had memory foam in it. And we called her over and she laid down on it, and boy, for the first time in her life, she gave my mom the evil eye when she came over to kind of lay on the bed with her, because the Schnauzer did not want to lose her bed. She was so comfortable. So, you know, you can't argue with a dog that's telling you clearly, this is my bed, I love it, and you're never going to get me off of it. And since then, I think she's had a couple of new ones. And that dog made it so clear how important it is to get a really good, supportive, memory foam, orthopedic dog bed when your dog is a senior. And I know from my own corgis, Comet used to like to lay at the end of the sofa for many years just to keep the carpet clean. I had a little thin dog bed on it. It was probably that thick. And as he got older, I started to stack comfy dog beds on top of that one, and he had like a whole cave back there, and he loved it, and it really cut down on the hair in the house, but it also made him really comfortable. And think about this, even in the summer and the warmer months, a dog wants to be cool, but he doesn't want to not be comfortable, just like you. Do you want to lay down on the floor just because it's hot? Not necessarily when your joints are old. And so to that end, they do make cooling gel dog beds for people who live in a hot climate with a senior dog. You can also just take some frozen water bottles and put them on the bed, and the dog can just put his head on it like a little pillow. If you're really good, you can put a few socks over a frozen water bottle to make it so it feels really like a pillow. And that can be a great comfort to a senior dog. And in fact, the thing we should all remember is that Dogs like pillows. Their heads and necks are looking up at us all the time. No matter you've got a Labrador or a Papillon, they have got to look up to see us. And so their necks are under a tremendous amount of strain, and dogs are so happy when you give them a pillow. So that's another important thing to think about when you've got a senior dog. Get him a pillow. And certainly on the Corgi world, there are people now making special pillows with fleecy Corgi fabric that you can buy for your, mostly she started making them for DM dogs because we really need to support their heads just to keep them functional. But every dog loves a pillow, and you know, no matter how badly you sew, anyone can make a pillow for their dog. And you can also just buy one, like a baby pillow or something, which is washable, and use that for your senior dog. And don't forget that you can just put, you know, even fleece or something around a frozen water bottle to help keep them cool in the summer, so that they don't have to lay on the cold tile kitchen floor when they're hot. The other thing to think about in terms of temperature comfort when they're older are blankets. A dog even as hairy as a Corgi, all of mine when they've gotten to be 14, don't like being out in the cold as much as they used to. This little guy, he still loves the snow, and he runs around and plays in it and rolls in it. A couple days ago, after a long walk, he came in the backyard and rolled and rolled and rolled in that snow pile, and then he laid down with his forelegs out to the sides like this just to get his chest and belly on the cold, because it had been warmer than it has been. Now he's lost about another pound of hair, so he might not be as hot now. But it's really important when you go out in the cold weather that when you have a senior dog, you consider getting them a dog coat, a real dog coat. Some companies like Roughwear make really great coats that are easy to clean, that protect the underside of the dog. Sure, they all look cute in those little acrylic Christmas sweaters you can buy everywhere around the holidays, but it's really a blessing to your dog if you can get something that's sort of weatherproof, more like a horse blanket, in that it comes around their chest and over their back and down on the sides, just to keep the warmth in when they're taking a walk in the winter months. And certainly keeping the back warm in particular is important. You want good spinal function for a senior, because all those nerves that come out of the spine go to organs and legs in the body. And if you can keep the spinal cord happy, you can keep most of your dog happy. So really important to think about a coat for your dog in the winter. And I see Pat's just joined us. She lives in Florida. So Florida, those of us in the Northeast think, not so cold down there in the winter. But even a dog that's grown and lived in Florida for 15 years could enjoy a little light jacket in the winter down there, because it is damp. And as we all know, here in New England, when it's been 50 and raining lately, you feel quite a bit colder than if it were just 50 and sunny. So that goes for any climate. A senior dog will appreciate some kind of a little covering on him when it's winter. And I have these great blankets from, Snug Pup. And she has a website and stuff. And I love the raincoat I got from her. It's got a very thin lining of fleece, and it's like plastic on the outside. Cute patterns, very easy to put on. Just put it over the dog's head and zip it up underneath. It's just got one big fat Velcro, which lasts forever. A jacket like that is good for all weather. I mean, Tristan wears that more than he wears any of his other dog coats. So for somebody like Pat, a blanket like that in the winter for a senior dog could be a great thing. Not as important with a Corgi, of course, as with a Chihuahua in the winter, because Corgis have lots of hair. But a Corgi that's lived in even Florida for his whole life is not going to be as hairy as this little New England kid. So think about comfortable beds and warm blankets in the winter for your senior dogs, and think about ways to cool them in the summer. The frozen water bottle's good. Frozen plastic bags are good. Ice cubes in the water bowl. A lot of people think that's good, not good. You kind of shock the digestive system when you go putting ice cubes in the water and your dog's drinking that really cold water. It can cool their body down too fast, and it can slow their digestion. So that's not a good idea, although it's something we all think that we would like. It's not something our dogs would benefit from. And of course, the same things we gave them when they were puppies. Frozen broccoli, frozen carrots. Those are great things to help your dog cool down in the winter. It's better than ice cream for them. I can see in Maryland it's going to be 70s over the weekend. So jealous. We are going off to our dog show tomorrow, and it is supposed to be something like 60, which is very exciting for us, because that means we can go outside of the building and practice a little bit. my person that was going to help me today or yesterday, like so many of us, is just so behind trying to finish her taxes. She has no time to help us, and we're so sad because that means it's just me and the internet from the AKC website, which thankfully is really good. You too can learn dog training from the AKC website. Well, they don't tell you how to train it, but they do show you what they expect. So anyway, hopefully we will see you tomorrow from the dog show at some point. I did find out that I should be there around 11. Our class is after 12. They don't tell you when. So different from the horse world. Anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and certainly on Sunday after the dog show we will try to catch up. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody enjoy the warm weekend. We are supposed to have some rain tonight, but other than that, I think most of the country is having a little bit of relenting of the bad weather. About time, huh, Tristan? And he is so clean and fluffy, and he smells delicious. Lightly coconut pineapple today. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day, and we will see you soon.